Hello, I am going to take you through a clean recipe today that you could make for breakfast, a snack, or a dessert. I'm going to kind of cut the sugar back as much as I can and keep it as natural as possible. And if you give it a try, let me know what you think, okay? I'm going to start with mixing dry ingredients. So I took oat flour instead of whole wheat just because I like how oat flour tastes a little bit better and it's a little bit slower for digesting. I'm going to add some flaxseed meal to it, about 1/4 cup, and I don't have a measuring cup, so I'm just going to put a handful in and keep my fingers crossed. Just to add some omega-3s and fiber to it, and I kind of like the texture it gives that. So I'm going to throw in a teaspoon of baking powder, a little bit less than a teaspoon. It doesn't need a ton. And some pumpkin pie spice. This will be a good fall recipe. That's probably a little more than a teaspoon. And just kind of toss all those dry ingredients together. Then I'm going to take my wet ingredients and kind of get those going in the mixer. So I'm going to use about half of this jar of organic pumpkin puree. Not pumpkin pie filling, but organic pumpkin puree. It's just pure pumpkin in here. If I was really domestic, I'd use a real pumpkin, but I'm not. So I'm just going to kind of dunk half of that in there. Should be somewhat close. And coconut oil or coconut butter, if you ever used it, it smells really good. And I'm going to use my hands to just kind of scrape this in here. So good for your skin. So if you get it all over you, it's totally fine. Get that going. Toss in a couple of egg whites. And here comes the sugar. So this is probably about 1/2 cup of honey, which is really more than enough for this batch. Most recipes will call for about twice this much, but I'm going to let you in on my little secret, which you'll get to see whenever we pull these out of the oven. If you really want to cut the sugar down, then just use about half of what the recipe calls for. And then once you plate these up, or once you put them on your cookie sheet, right before you toss them in the oven, I take a little bit of turbinado, which is a really coarse, steam clean sugar, and I just sprinkle a tiny bit on top of each cookie and then pop it in the oven. That way, every bite has a little hint of that sweetness to it. It kind of tastes like brown sugar would taste, only it's a little bit more coarse. And that makes you think it's really sweet, but you really get, probably 1/10 of what you would normally get sugar-wise. I'm going to put a little taste of molasses in here just to make it a little bit stronger, probably right around a teaspoon. Add some vanilla, about a teaspoon of that too. And then just get this going. And once that's blended, let me crack a little bit of salt in here. I use the pink Himalayan salt. I like it best. It's got more live properties in it too, so it's a little bit better for you. It's got some selenium in it. So I'm going to get these going, blend them together, and pop them in the oven, and then I'll come back and show you how they turn out.